So hey, what's up guys, Nps3d here and welcome back again. In today's video we are going to make something cool like audio reactor. So I made but many audio reactors already on my channel, but still audience need audio reaction time to time, or we need to change basically time to time. So when I was experimenting this result, I was not sure I will be publish it or not. To know the audience reaction, they will love it or not, I posted this on my YouTube channel and I get a good response. So that's why I'm making a tutorial. I hope you guys love it. So let me show you the preview what I am talking about. So basically this is the combination of two things, but the more good looking thing is this, the dust and the particles which is blasting or reacting through the music, and this in the middle I have a Nps3d object. So in today's tutorial we will cover all these things and try to build it as soon as possible. So let's get started without any more delay after this Nps3d intro. Alright, so make a new composition, press start. So click here and make a new comp, and this is called, and I'm going with 1920 by 1080. So this is the music I downloaded from YouTube. I'll put the link so you can go there if you want to use this, and decide from where you want to use. Let's make a new solid and make a comp size and rename it, and let's apply Soundkeys. By the way, if you don't have Soundkeys, you can just directly go here, keyframe assistant, and you can click to the convert audio to keyframes, and basically it will make a new layer with left, right and both channels, so you don't need to be worried about any extra plugin. By the way, I have a Soundkeys, so I will get more control to the sounds. That's why I am using this plugin. So go to the audio layer and choose to Vidoe and see it, and decide the wave, the beat. Select first beat from here and somewhere like here, and let's open the range 2 and activate and choose maybe over here. So now we have a high beat and a regular medium beat. You can see it here, and you can adjust it anytime. Looking good. By the way, if you will not happy with your result, you can just come over here again and you can change it. So for now let's hit apply, and basically it will give two different keyframes for the different range. Make a new solid and just rename it to the E3D. You know the E3D means Nps3d. Now let's press Ctrl space, and this is FX console. Select layer and press FX console. Write Nps3d and press enter. Go inside the scene setup, and it's up to you which types of object do you wanna use in your video. I used a capsule for my project. You can see this one, but if you want a sphere, a cylinder, or torso, you can just select it and you can just follow the next steps. So I'm going to the capsules and I'm going to adjust it, like I increase the height so it will look a little bit like cylinder, and you can just down the radius, and you can just cap roundness if you don't want too much. And for your kind information, I will use too many copies of the capsule or cylinder, whatever you gonna use. So I will suggest you So I will suggest you to turn down the polygons. So let me show you how you can do it. So first go to the wireframe mode so you can see how many vertices or faces you have. So I will go to the caps segment and I will down it somewhere around 6. Go to the shaded. It's okay if it's not perfect round, because we will use too many copies, so we'll not gonna smaller detailing there. And same for the this one, like slide. Let's duplicate it, and this is gonna be in a group 2 because we are going to animate from 1 to 2. Hit OK and all done. No, I'm just joking. Just click here and make a new composition, and now let's create a new solid. By the way, if you wanna create a different types of texture, you can use it. If you can also download any wallpaper and you can use it. Anything as a texture you can use it here. But so let's click OK, delete it basically. Now let's solid 200. So go to the effect and press apply a effect called fill. So basically this will give a solid color to your layer, and just over to the start, press Ctrl D and somewhere around here. So now you can change the color, like I want to do this for the all of this. And if you are not happy with the color, just create a new adjustment layer and apply hue and saturation, and you can just, so let's go with this one for now. And by the way, you can be more creative with this. You can just apply a turbulence displacement, and you can just make which one I like most. I like this one basically. That's good. So now let's go to the audio reactor and import that texture comp. By the way, you can rename it and drag it here. Go to the Element3d layer and go to the custom layer, and make sure you go to the custom texture map and you can load it, the texture here. All good. Go to the scene setup and select it. Go to the first capsule and diffuse, and you can just load the texture here. You can see it's not looking good. So I'm here, man. I can fix it by simply going to the object and UV mapping mode, and you can change it to the sphere if you like. Basically, if you like, you can change it to the sphere, or you can go to the box. This looks good for now. Now let's select this material and just press Ctrl and drag and drop. Press Alt and drag and drop it to the here. Go to the glossiness texture map and turn down the saturation -100, or maybe around here. Bring out the contrast and the gamma a little bit, and basically I am making a roughness map, and same for the reflectivity and same for the normal bump. But here just select to the convert to the normal bump, and done. Almost done. You can turn off this draft texture to see clearly your textures. So this is good. Now let's duplicate this material and apply it to the this one, and this is gonna be our glowing material. So what we'll do, go to the illumination map and check this, use diffuse color and just increase the intensity, a little bit of Fresnel and Fresnel bias. So this is glowing, this is not glowing. Got it? Hit OK. We are halfway done almost. So I'm not happy with the turbulence, so I'm gonna off it. Can put the slide to 12 and maybe 9. Same for this one, 12 and 9, and hit OK. Now let's go to the second one and off it. Go to the first one. Let's make a new camera first. 28mm is good for now. Now stick to the half race, go to the element 3D, group 1 and particle replicator and change this shape to sphere and increase the particle count and increase the shape scale also. So now you can see, go to the scene setup again and you can just shrink this radius maybe more, Ctrl C to copy and paste, same here, perfect. You can even put 200 or 2000 based on your thing. So I'm gonna 200 for the tutorial, and I also did for the final result also. So now let me go to the rotation, and here you can just rotate, I mean you can control over all the shape, I mean it will treat like a one object, but here is a option called particle look. It will react on each object. So if you wanna like this, you can go it. So I like this one, but I'm gonna this one. You can also go with the randomized rotation. So this looks cool for me now. Now let's go to the particle look and add a keyframes for the rotation. So Y is good, X is also good. So I'm gonna animate Y. So in the first frame and in the last one I just press 2. So if I will show you, you can see how. Shut down the music first. Very basic, right? You are thinking, where is your audio reactor? Just keep patience, we are in the way. So now let's go to the group 2, enable it, and this is your glowing, right? Go to the render setting, not render setting, go to the animation engine and enable it. So now it will react from group 1 to group 2. So if the animation goes 0 to 100, it will react like this, you know, very good looking. But here is a few mode like uniform. You can see how it's coming. You can choose the radial also. So in my final original example I use radial and this looks cool for me now. Even you can use the random and the shape order. This is also very cool, like boom boom boom. Check it out. So go to the radial, press 0 here, and now we will select the audio keyframes and animate with this one. So go to the audio keyframe, press U, and this is for beat. So I want animation only on beats. So press Alt and click on this animation of this object in animation engine, and you just need to parent with the audio beats. And done. You can check it with music. Let me down the good. Now what you can do, you can go to the group 2 for the glowing object, go to the particle replicator, and you can just add a keyframes on the every XYZ and press 2, -2 and 2, and let's check. You know, we have a different types of animation, you can see. And same we can also do for the group 1. So once you get on a stage when you are getting something, then you can just tweak and you will get a good result. So let me go to the particle rotation, and I'm gonna rotate it like, not particle look, particle here, and same I'm gonna 2 here, and here I'm gonna 0 and 0. So let's check it. You can see looks cool, right? So it's done. You can just go to the part ambient occlusion and you can enable it, and you can just do some minor things. Before and after. You can also choose the ray trace, but it will take a lot time in rendering because we are also going to enable motion blur. So I'm going with the SSAO, and we can increase this. By the way, I am going to create a new light. This is gonna be ambient light with a 12% of opacity, and then I will make a new light. This is gonna be a point light with around 80% of opacity. Don't cast shadow, and here you can see if I shut this off, and by the way, come over here and you can just apply a tint effect and just desaturated type effect. If you wanna white black, you can go with that, but let me like 12%. Good for now, and even you can animate this texture so it will look more cool. So this is good for now. Now let's move to the particle layer. So I'm gonna use CC particle world. CC particle world. Good. But first I wanna use a camera animation. So first let's make a new null layer, press F4, or you can just click here and make it 3D. Parent your camera to the null, and now let's press press R, and you can just add keyframes. Let's check it one more time. So the camera animation is because when we will add particles, so the camera will also move, so it will look more three-dimensional and it will look like we are in a space, something like that. So it will look more cool. I will show you before and after also, so just keep patience, and I hope you are enjoying the tutorial. By the way, if you are a Patreon user, you can just support this channel for making a lot of content. So I will put my Patreon page link in my video description, so you can go there and check it. And by the way, you can get this project tutorial also on Patreon. Alright, so let's make a new solid and just apply CC particle world. And alright, you can see with camera animation this looking boom boom boom. But now here we'll also push the amount of birth and the amount of velocity with audio keyframes. So first let me change to the birth rate. So go to the audio keyframe, press U to bring or reveal the keyframe, and go to the CC and lock it, and go to the birth rate and press Alt and key here, and you can just link this with output 1. And now you can see these are very massive particles, so you can just basically minus 12. So maybe this, yes, these are working. Minus maybe 24. So I have less. Now we are work on the velocity. So go to the physics, and here is the velocity. So this is for this. So I'm just press Alt and click here and link this also with the first one, and -12 or -24, 25 something. And if you think still it's too much, I think these are not gonna working, so I will use another keyframes. I mean the expression I downloaded from the online. So just copy this, Control C, and paste, Control V. Now if you will hit OK, it will give you a error. So how you can fix it? Just copy this and delete, and here you can just link those audio bits. And now there is two ways. You can just simply put the 5 and 1, and let's check it. We are getting somewhere. So now I'm just copy these keyframes, and I'm gonna do the birth rate and just paste it here. So this is better with before. This here Z sideway. You can see these are very massive. So let me show you how you can fix it. So let's change the birth rate from 5 to 0.5, and just go here and put -25. So you can see these are good. I think this is looking good. We can work a little bit more, like longevity. I can just down it if I want, or if you don't want, you can just put it all the way. This looks awesome to me, so I'm gonna long wave. This looks awesome to me. So this is the first one. Now I'm gonna we can change a little bit more. Put down the gravity to 0, and resistance you can just make it a little bit like this. Maybe let's check it. Looks good to me. You can down the velocity even more if you want, but I am fine with this one. And now you can just change the color according your subject. Like pink and red is good, but I like cyan or blue, like that. So I like this one. I like this one. This is awesome, man. Just duplicate this and rename it to the smoke, and just unlock it. So we can dive to the smoke properties and go to the particle and change it to the faded sphere. And solo this, increase the birth rate and the date size also. So now we have a smoke type effect basically, and we can just down the opacity like this. So now we have everything. Let's check it. and I'm going to down the smoke longevity something around 2, and same for this particle. Now let's work to the glow part. Let's duplicate the element 3D and type glow. Go to the output section and change to the illumination. So now we can only see the glowing part, and let's apply the exposure and put 2.2 here and add a glow and press F4 and change to the additive so we can see it. Let's duplicate it. Let's duplicate one more time. And fine. Now let's go to the CC, and this is gonna be our line particle, and we can just copy the glow setting. Control C and paste over here, and we can change it. Don't worry, we can change it with a tint effect. Right, we can just change it. Maybe we can just delete it. This is good. And if you think the amount of particle is too much, you can come over to the birth rate. Press E for effect, CC particle 1 and birth rate, and you can even go to the here and make it to the 50 or maybe around like 35. And you can just multiply with 0.2. So you can be very creative with this one, and you can just simply copy this all expression and paste the same smoke birth rate, so let's behave same. And if you are not happy with the dust, what you can do, you can just increase the birth size, so we have a like this. And one more thing, you can just make one more copy, not smoke, one more copy to the line, and this is gonna be a pair, maybe a part. And what we'll do now, we can change the particle to something around maybe 5 particles. We can just solo it to see what we are making or what we are doing. You can increase the size a little bit, and for this part I can just go to the physics and initial velocity maybe like I just increase again, it will go up, but not very cool. I am experimenting here also, but not very cool. So I can just come here and gravity 0 and maybe to this one, so it will be closely, it will not go too much far away, and you can turn down the opacity around 0.2 or maybe 1, so it will not stay too much. So for this is good, but you can be more creative also. And the last thing what you can do, just select all these things, animated things, and make them with motion blur, and select everything and just pre-comp and add a few final touches like curve. You can increase the red, down the green maybe, and increase the blue from the back. So little bit like that, before and after. If you're not happy, you can just down the opacity. So this is thing, guys, and if you think about element 3D, you can just increase the exposure to make them little bit more bright to match with all these things. So this is it, guys, and I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you learn something. If you learn something from this tutorial, please give it a like, and if you are new here, I will suggest you to subscribe this channel, because you will get a lots of element 3D related stuff here. And that's it. Let me get a preview and I will show you. And if you can if you wanna add something, you can add it, and this gonna be very cool. So this is it, guys, as you can get this work project file on my Patreon page. And thanks for loving me, thanks for supporting me. I am Nps3d, and we will see you next time with a great tutorial. This is it for now.